This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the Magnum White Chocolate and Berry Remix Ice Cream. White and classic chocolates with mix of two ice creams. The dual chocolate 2 times dipped. This is one of these remix ice creams from Magnum that I have not had before, and I bought this at the local Globus, let me look, for €1.88 on sale. Isn't that wonderful? It's always a bit of a shame when more of these ice creams that are actually on sale are not up for review anymore, because I already reviewed them. This one was one that I have not reviewed yet. So pause if you want to read the ingredients list in English, in Italian, German, Spanish, and I think that's it already. And also pause if you want to read the, now we have it, the nutrition table down there. So what does it say in English? Isn't that great that we've got an English ingredients list for an English video for once? Exciting recombination of the different elements of a Magnum velvety berry and vanilla ice creams, dipped in white chocolate and half dipped in milk classic chocolate to create extra experience. To create extra experience. Sounds quite cheesy. Blackcurrant raspberry ice cream swirled with vanilla ice cream, white chocolate and milk chocolate. Okay, yeah, that sounded more cheesy than I would have expected. Sounds a bit like an auto-translated thing, right? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just me. I mean, I've never been to an English-speaking country before, so I might be wrong on that. I just learned English by watching YouTube videos. So let's take out one of these, and I'll put the rest of them into the freezer, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright, I'm back at the desk, so let's prop this up right here as a decorative element. Take a cutting board right here, a banana blade, and the ice cream spoon, and let's feel for the stalk of the Magnum ice cream. Let's open up this thing. Alright, so looks rather standard. Top is brown, bottom is whitish, ochre color almost. Not really white, but when is white chocolate really white, right? We see some of that raspberry stuff. Was it raspberry? See, I already forgot what it was. Velvety berry and vanilla ice cream. So what was it here? Blackcurrant raspberry ice cream and vanilla ice cream. Blackcurrant raspberry ice cream. Wow. Now that's a mix I've never had before, I think. Looks alright. What does it smell of? It does very much smell like that regular Magnum ice cream, that classic one with that lighter chocolate, not that darker chocolate on top of it. I might be smelling, yeah, I'm actually smelling a bit of a white chocolate coating as well. Those Magnums, they do have, especially those remix ones, they do have a certain scent to that white chocolate that gives it almost a bit of a nutty, maybe almondy scent. It's very interesting. Although when you just smell the top of it, you don't really notice it at all. So let us take the knife and have a press record. Yes, I have, luckily. And slice it through. Okay. So we do have a certain pattern in here, regular Magnum pattern, I suppose. Looks alright, nothing bad to it. When we look at the box, yeah, there's a different tone that we've got going on there, but overall it's fine, I think. I would have expected it quite a bit darker than what the pink stuff already is, you know. Blackcurrant raspberry, or what it was, yeah. Could be a bit darker. Looks alright though. Scent-wise, I can't really, yeah, I don't really notice any. Oh, hang on. There is a certain berry scent to it, but it takes a bit of olfactory detection work to get to that. All right, looks fine. Smells fine. Let's take a look at the coating. What this tastes of. The chocolate coating is fine. You've got a more dominant flavor of that white chocolate, that very distinct Magnum white chocolate. Tastes good. Like I say, every time I review something with white chocolate, I'm not a huge fan of white chocolate, but these Magnum ice creams nowadays, with these remix sorts, remix flavors, it doesn't taste too bad, even for me. So let us Take a bit of a spoonful of actual ice cream now. Oh, here I've got more chocolate. That shall be sufficient. Scent-wise, yeah, slight berry, soury berry scent to it. Flavor-wise, we've got a very creamy, slightly sour berry flavor to it as well. I wouldn't call it blackcurrant necessarily. It just tastes like a regular, very creamy, berry flavored ice cream. I don't really taste that vanilla ice cream at all. This is just berry all the way. Tastes good though. It's got a very sour flavor to it that reminds me a lot of a berry sorbet. You know, when you've got that water ice without any cream in it, and you've got that distinct souriness for some like wild berry flavor mix. This very much reminds me of that. It's quite alright. Yeah, definitely. Not too sour, not too boring. It's actually quite good. So let's take a bite out of this one as a whole. Alright, we can see that the ice cream disintegrates, of course, with the coating, as it always does. I do have to say that for once, the actual ice cream in the Magnum ice cream is the interesting part of this. Now, I'm not a huge fan of that creamy stuff, especially with berry flavored, fruit flavored stuff in general, mixed with chocolate. I'm not a huge fan of that. It's always got that weird sort of I don't know, conflict between that creamy, sweet chocolate flavor and the more soury, more fruity, more natural flavor. I'm not a huge fan of that, but this right here, when you enjoy that combination, it is quite alright. And like I said, like the ice cream itself doesn't taste of vanilla. It's not that regular boring vanilla ice cream from Magnum ice cream. No, it really has that berry flavor, a well balanced souriness to it, and overall a very decent flavor experience, I've got to say. Yeah, and the picture just draws itself here. Really decent flavor combination. Ice cream itself, very decent indeed. You know, I think I'm going to finish up this ice cream now, and I'll be back with you at the review sheet in just a second. Maybe just as a little side note, maybe you can see those very small, like spots in there. It actually seems to be just that fruit, those little hairs, those fragments of the epidermis of those black currants or raspberries. I would assume those are raspberry pieces that we've got in there that really resemble an actual piece of fruit in Magnum ice cream. I think that's what it is. Certainly something that I did not expect. Yeah, quite good. The consumption process is complete and we're ready to rate this with the review sheet. First impression wise, this thing has been fine. The shape of it looked alright. There weren't too many spots in there where you can see through that chocolate into the ice cream itself, a few of them, but for the most part it looked really decent indeed. No like odd sort of sprinkles of stuff that shouldn't be on there, and the coating was even enough throughout for me to give it 1 out of 1 available point. Color wise, same story here, nothing bad about it, looked quite alright, and it looked pretty similar to what it was on the packaging. Aside from that blackcurrant raspberry ice cream that could be a bit darker, it didn't look bad though in any way, and therefore still 1 out of 1 available point. Consistency and texture wise, I've got to say that the coating was fine and nothing bad to report, and the same thing goes for the ice cream itself. I've got to say that the ice cream was actually more creamy than I thought it would be, and that was quite surprising because usually when you've got these fruity ice creams you have a bit more water in there, and that sort of stuff tends to get a bit more icy, you know, you've got some sort of crystal formation going on. I didn't feel any of that in this particular ice cream right here, and therefore I was quite surprised that it was as creamy as it was. Very decent indeed. Taste wise, 4.5 out of 5 available points. The chocolate was fine, the entire coating altogether, and the ice cream on the inside was fine as well. The only complaint that I have in the flavor department is when you get down to the base of that ice cream stick, where you only have that white chocolate coating and that blackcurrant raspberry ice cream, there is a weird sort of mix of flavors that doesn't really work all too well, at least in my opinion. Maybe that's personal preference, and I want to state here that this might just be personal preference, But that mixture of flavors, I don't think it works out too well. When you taste all of the ingredients, the coating or the ice cream itself on its own, it tastes really decent though. Therefore, still 4.5 out of 5 available points. Could just be that this is me and everyone else who loves that sort of stuff really thoroughly enjoys it. Themalization wise, 1 out of 1 available point because I mean they gave us what they said they would and they did that quite decently. And like I said, maybe that's the only complaint I have with that mix of white chocolate and blackcurrant raspberry ice cream. Might just be personal preference. Therefore, overall 9.5 out of 10 available points is the final rating for the Magnum white chocolate and berry remix ice cream. Yeah, I think this is where we're gonna end this particular video because yeah, overall very decent product, very decent presentation. Overall, I'm quite happy with it, and for €1.88 is what I paid for this. Very decent price indeed. So when you see this on sale, give it a go if you are into that sort of stuff, and even if you're not into that sort of stuff. I was pleasantly surprised, even as someone who doesn't really like the mix of berry and white chocolate in general. Anyway, if you've got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be going to see you soon. Until then, bye bye.